Yo, yo, yo! I have another video for you guys, and it's about David Johnson. Yes, he is the new Black Panther. And the reason why I'm making this video is because there are people who seem to have had a little bit of hate towards this guy because they believe that because he is British, he shouldn't have gotten the role. Um, Look, from my point of view, it's not where you come from. You're an actor, and your job is to act. No matter where you come from, it doesn't really matter. Also, my problem isn't that he got the role. I just can't really see him in the role per se, if that makes any sense. But it's one of those things where a lot of the time I don't really see someone in the role, and then they somehow surprise me with their acting jobs. But a lot of people wanted Dempson Idris to be Black Panther. That was one of the main things that people were saying, and they're saying, "Oh, there's some beef between Michael B. Jordan and him." I mean, I think it kind of sounds like it's a bit ridiculous. That was the reason. Marvel's a very weird company right now. They're on the downward spiral, and they seem to be doing some really weird things. Very weird. And I don't think that could have been the reason why he got the role, because it seemed like he was the better choice. But sometimes it's one of those things where it's not always the better choice. It's always someone that you think that wouldn't get the role, you give the role to, and then they surprise you. And that's what may be the situation that's happening. That may be the situation that's happening, you know. But at this time in Marvel right now, being in anything Marvel is like it's a curse. There used to be a point where you would get a movie role from Marvel, and that would be the beginning of your career. Now it's kind of like it's the end of your career, because ain't nobody watching Marvel movies anymore. That time period is done with. And as for the Black Panther movies, the first one was really groundbreaking. The second one, it seemed like it was everywhere. I can tell that the director had a lot of rewriting to do.
When you
That
made your first meal.
that much I know for sure. 100% that when that movie was being shot, he had to go and rewrite it because unfortunately Boseman died, which is really sad. But it's one of those things where things happen, and that's one of the sad things that happened. But yeah, I can definitely tell it was rewritten. But the third movie, I think, it can be a success, because I remember the first Black Panther movie. A lot of the black community was behind the movie. The movie wasn't great. I'm not gonna poop all over the movie. It wasn't great. It had faults. The faults was maybe in the elastic band CGI, but I kind of looked past it. And other than that, it was good. A lot of the fight scenes just seem a bit, when he's the Black Panther and they're fighting, it seems overly animated. That's all I can put it down to. It looks way too CGI for my liking. But other than that, yeah, it was a good movie. But a lot of the hate is towards the actor himself. Like, I remember Idris Elba being in The Wire, and if you know Idris Elba, you know that he's from the UK. But when he was in The Wire, he had like this New York accent, and nobody knew he was from the UK. It's not until he came out and he done interviews, he says, "I'm from the UK." But you're an actor, you're meant to act. It doesn't matter where you're from. African people shouldn't be upset that a British actor, or American people shouldn't be upset that a British actor's got these roles. And that's what's going around these days on the internet. That, oh, another British guy. It's like if you didn't know where he came from, he was acting, you wouldn't care. But it does seem like there's a lot of British actors taking American roles, a lot of black British actors taking American roles. It does seem that way. But maybe they're just better actors. Who knows? Who knows? But from what I know, from what my perspective is that you're an actor, you're meant to act. And if people don't realize where you're from, you've done your job. Simple as that. Wakanda's not a real place. So he's acting as a fictional character in a fictional place. I don't understand why people are so upset. You know, it's the internet for you. People just want to complain about everything. But anyway, like, subscribe, and I'm out.